Hi, good evening, everyone. We are already in the middle of January. Can you believe it? Uh, anyway, before we get started, my cousin recommended that I start introducing myself for anyone that happens upon this video. I am Betsey Grady, and I am grateful to be hosting another one of our Akashic Records Live After Dark. So we do this on Wednesday evenings at 6:30. Um, and as far as I can tell, I don't have any time off planned around them, but I'll let you know if so. Welcome to everyone this evening. I do Akashic Record readings, and that is Akashic Records are seen like a giant library in the universe that contains volumes and volumes and volumes of books, you could say, that contain the history and story of your soul's journey, whether it's this lifetime, all the lifetimes you've had, and even has things, in the future that you've already written out for yourself that you might want to try. So, to get started, hello, cousin. I am going to read the Akashic Prayer, and then we'll see if we get a general message from the guides to start, and then we'll hop into some questions. Okay. Okay. And before we begin, when I read the prayer, I would really ask that you, if it's comfortable to you, go ahead and close your eyes and just let yourself relax. Feel yourself being open and in the energy of this work. And just feel yourself kind of surrender to this process, if that makes sense. And notice if anything pops in your mind, because if it does, it might be your guides are giving you a little nudge or a hint of something to think about or ask about. And what's really cool about this work is you don't necessarily have to ask the question. You might be thinking it in your mind, and somebody else is going to ask the question. And so if you need to know something, chances are several people joining in or coming across this work will need to know it too. So I love how all that works. Okay, so go ahead and close your eyes. I'm going to read the prayer, and then let's see what's up. Hi, sister. This is my sister. And I lost my little stone that I hold. Oh well. Oh well. Okay. I ask God if He will have a shield of love and truth around you permanently, so only God's love and truth will exist between you and me. I allow the masters, teachers, and loved ones of you to channel through me out of whatever realm to say whatever they wish. I ask the permission of the Lords of the Akashic Records so I'm able to look into the records of you and remove whatever information I'm allowed. Okay. All right, give me 1 second. Let's see here. All right. Hi, Paula. This is so much fun. Okay, so let's see what our general message is tonight. Okay. Well, something that came up in a reading for someone the other day, the guides would like for me to share with everyone here. And what happened was this girl had a dream and she wanted to know what the dream meant. And her dream was that she was staring at a zebra. That was it. She was just staring at a zebra. But she could not really understand the significance of it. And so her guide showed me the dream, and they're showing me this zebra. And so, like her, I'm just staring at a zebra. And what they said was, notice, just notice, what does the zebra represent? What is the zebra known for? And zebras are black and white. They're known for their stripes. I didn't go look up the spiritual meaning of zebra or anything like that because the guides were telling me just to look at it, just look at it. And so I said to her, what they're telling us or telling you to know, and this is what they want everyone to know, is that things are not black or white. And so many of us live in a black or white world, or we look at things one way, but what we fail to see is that it's all inclusive. Things are black and white. They both exist simultaneously. And she started laughing because she said she uses that phrase all the time at her work, because in the role she plays at work, she's kind of a mediator between different parties. And she said she's often using that. And so she's actually going to bring a stuffed zebra with her to her next meeting. But what the guides wanted us to really understand was it is so helpful to try and see someone else's point of view, and to not get so stuck in ours. Oh wait, let me go here. I see what Becky's typing up the zebra. If y'all can read the comments, we have the spiritual meaning of zebra: duality, determination, empowerment, community, communication. Isn't that something? The zebra teaches us many ways to get our points across. Well, and that's what the guides wanted to share was, if we come across someone who's really digging into their viewpoint or their opinion, or whatever they think, or the way they're looking at the world, and right now there's a lot of polarization, and that's probably why they wanted to share this. And what they want us to do, want you to do, is see both. See both. The zebra can't exist without black and white stripes, and this world cannot exist without duality. And one of the coolest things to really think about is we need duality. We live in a world of duality, and it's how we understand things, and it's how we determine what we like and we don't like, or even what we know and don't know. If I was trying to describe, um, what hot is, it's helpful to know what cold is, right? It's like, and we can compare them. And so we have to look at things, and they're both good. Hot and cold are both good, and so many of us like what's in the middle there, the warm. But point being, we live in a world of opposites, and it is important not to judge one side as good or bad. That it's almost like, if y'all listen to Abraham Hicks, and she'll talk about, one of the things she'll say is, there's two ends to every stick, and that's what that means. That we live in that world of opposites, and then you got the whole stick, but one side isn't better than the other. One end isn't better. They're really the same thing. If you look at it, they're on the same vibration, you know. So that is something helpful as we look at our world this year, as we look at the, country, the political climate, all of this going on. And again, things are probably going to start up, if they haven't already, if people taking their, their sides and having their opinions. So it's just really important to not judge, and to be open, and realize it all exists. And two, they want you to know this statement would be really helpful as you navigate the world and your journey, just even this life in general. But they're saying everything really does happen for a reason. It really does. And we can't always see the reason. You might not know, but it is happening for a reason. Someday that reason may become really obvious to you. It might take 10 years for it to show up. Yet, and it could take a day to show up. What they want you to know is there is a reason. So there's a plan that has been kind of carved out to a degree. Some things we write in our plan that's, a certainty, like the person you marry. You wrote that in your plan for this lifetime. Yet there are things you make up along the way. So not every part of your life is planned, and we do come to moments in our life where we make what I call soul decision points. Our soul might choose to go one way or another. Yet the other important thing to know is you are on a path. You can't get off your path. There's no way to get off your path. You can't do anything wrong, so to speak. And your guides like to say, you just take detours. You know, they're trying to give you signs along the way to make your path one of least resistance. Yet, we don't always get the signs, and that's okay. They'll just come up with another way to. It's like GPS. It'll reroute you if you miss that turn, and that's really what life is about. So, they're often saying, "Be easy about things. Be easy about life. Don't take things so seriously here." And really let go of judging things as good or bad. And when you start, if you're having a conversation with someone who starts going down a way and can't see your way, just think of the zebra. Think of the zebra. It all works. It's all meant to be here and existing at the same time. And the zebra, as we know, is a pretty powerful animal, and it represents that duality. What else was in here? Communication is that theme around zebra, so just let that be. Okay, that's great. Let me see if there's any other message from them. Okay, here, give me 1 second. So last week, if you joined us, the guides wanted to, and they did send blessings to your dreams and the dreams that you still want to actualize for yourself. And they are wanting me to tell you that they are continuing to send that blessing energy down to your dreams, and that is being fed, it's being nurtured. From the divine world, and so you are to let go of any worry, anxiety, and doubts around the things that you desire to see happen. Whether that's a big dream, whether it's a dream you want to see like tomorrow, remember it's happening for a reason. It is being nurtured and helped and supported from the divine, and you can let go of any worry and doubt around it and just trust in the process. That's big work, big work. Trust in the process. Um, but you can do it. They have faith that you can do it and that we can all do it. Okay, I am going to hop to some questions here. Get to my questions. I have them on my phone, so y'all, where people are sending in. All right, first question. My question is about my return to work. I'm a registered nurse and I want to know when I will return to work. Will it be in a hospital setting? Will it be in the OB/GYN, oncology, or something else? And second part to the question, will I ever reconnect to my first love? I think about how much I hurt him. Will I ever be able to make amends with him or ever be back with him as a couple? Okay, so we have 2 questions here. These are big questions. I can feel the energy and emotion in your questions, and they mean a lot to you. So first we're going to look at, let me see where your guides want to go here. Okay. They are, these are so, it's interesting. These are closely related. Okay. So let's look at your love. That's the bigger emotion here, and that's what they want to address. So your, I think you said your first love. Okay. They are so glad you asked this question. First love is a big deal to all of us, and it's something, we will always remember, always hold on to. And hang on here. There's big energy here. So one of the things that they want you to know is that they would like for you to forgive yourself. They would like for you to be easy on yourself. And so many of our actions, young and old, is stuff we learned along the way. Sometimes I will have a moment where I'll even say, I am not being my highest and best self right now, you know, and I try and be funny about it. But back then, we didn't know what we didn't know, right? So they want you to know that part of your desire to want to reconnect with him is to relieve your own guilt and shame around the situation. And so they want you to be clear about that. And you want to do over because you want to be forgiven. And at the same time, you want a do over because you see now how he treated you and you realize that's where it's at. That's how you want to be treated. And so, one thing they want you to know, he's not the only one out there that will treat you like that. That may have been your experience so far, and you may think you might have missed the one who's going to be the kindest and most loving to you, and that's not the case. They want you to really get in touch and be clear about what he represents to you and realize that's what you want. It's the other thing with relationships that is so interesting. Sometimes we focus on a person, the identity of that person, and we have all these feelings around that person. So we think that that person is bringing us those feelings, or because that person's in our life, we feel these things, or I'm only going to feel this way if that person's around. And that's not true. Relationships give us an opportunity to show up and express parts of ourselves that we can't, alone and or with others. So others as in, if you are in a romantic relationship, you're going to express parts of yourself you wouldn't with your best friend, right? That's what I mean. So we often give so much power to the person that we want to be in a partnership with, or we're thinking about in some way. But really what we have to understand is, here comes my cat. Binks is going to join us again tonight. Come on, buddy. And what we really have to understand is what we want is the gift of the relationship, the gift of that exchange, the gift of the opportunity to, be here and express ourselves in that highest and best way. And we cannot get caught up on the package, the wrapping, right? A person, hi buddy, is the wrapping in the package. It's what's inside. The gift of the relationship is where it's at. And so your guide, that's a long answer. Your guides don't want you to focus on your first love. And they want you to understand that what you really want is a relationship that allows for that experience that's similar, that first love kind of feeling that's reciprocated, where you can show up today with your wise adult self and your highest and best self. And so let him be your role model and your idea of what you want. And know that you can attract him, someone like him, or something even better. Does that make sense? And so the same thing with your job. They want you to really be clear. So they're not going to answer this question except for you will go back to work. They will say that. They want you to really be clear about what you want to be with your work. What parts of you do you find more joy in? And so what part of nursing really brings you joy that's rewarding? So be a little selfish here. The same thing with making your partner list. Be selfish. And what do you want to experience? What parts of you do you want to see show up? And go for a career and a position that allows you to be that, because then you'll have joy in your work every single day and it will be so rewarding. I know they got some long answers to that, but I think a lot of people needed um, to hear those. So thank you. Okay, next question. Okay, my ex-husband is having major surgery. February 1st, he's having his colon reattached to get rid of his bag. Because of the damage, it's very risky, and I was wondering if you could see how things turn out. I have a bad feeling I can't shake. Okay. All right, let's see here. Well, mm, you know what? I'm not sure. They're not necessarily showing me the surgery yet. Um, Let me see how they want to answer this. Actually, it looks like the surgery is going to be helpful, and part of part of your feeling. Now they are saying you are intuitive, so there will be, looks like, some complications. Looks like his recovery is not going to be as easy. Um, they might even find more there than they anticipate. So that might be what you're picking up on. Like there's going to be a complication, or they might find a little bit more going on than they thought was going on, if that makes sense. But it does look like overall the surgery will be effective and it will be helpful. It could it be life changing for him? Yes. Will he do something with it? I don't know. I don't know if it really will inspire him to change his life. I would hope so. Um, but like I said, uh, I don't. I see him surviving through the surgery. If that's something you're worried about, I don't think it's going to be um, uh, something as devastating as that. His loss in the operating room. So, like I said, just might be something a little more going on, but that too could be helpful. So, remember, we are rounding out of time right now astrologically, and right about to February 1st, that first time where secrets are coming out and things cannot be hidden, and that could be a part of what's going on for him. But I would say, as with all things, when secrets come out, they set us free. And if they find he has something more going on, that could be, mm, I'm just going to use the word fatalistic, and that may be too what you're picking up on. But as far as the surgery, I do feel like he'll come out of that. Okay. I know that's a big concern. Okay, so next question. Is there a message from my dad, Dorothy, or my husband's dad, or the guides? Okay. All right. Well, Dorothy wants you to know that she was the one speaking in the very beginning about things happen for a reason. Oh, look, there's Nola too. Oh, yeah, my cats are starting to join us. There's Nola. And look, she's going to see Binks right there. They're looking at each other, not sure what to think. It's so much fun. Um, so Dorothy's saying she was the one bringing that message through, and you know what? She is saying, have faith, girl. You got to have faith. And what you want is coming to pass. And there's gonna be a time where you think, oh my God, did I open Pandora's box? So just get ready. And she said she is glad to be your current distraction, or she should be anyway. Mm-hmm. All right, hang on here. Now I can't tell, but it feels like something in February. Does somebody have a February birthday around you? I'm just seeing birthday cakes, birthday candles. Feels like a party, a gathering. I don't know what that's about. Um, and you could, if you have time to tap in, you can. But there's some kind of party in February that looks like those in spirit will be gathering around. Does feel like a party celebration. They want me to tell you it is not a wake, it's not a service, anything like that. That's so funny. Okay. Let me see if I have any here. Okay, I'm going to hop to questions over here in the comments. Let me see here. Okay, I sure hope y'all are still around and that we can continue with our questions. um, I am going to get back to. Let me see here. I'm going to wait, see if you guys start popping in here. And let me know if you can hear me. Well, anybody out there? Okay, let's see. Oh, good. Can you hear me? Elizabeth, can you hear me? Oh, good. Y'all can hear me. Okay, yay. All right. Well, we're going to go back to, I remember the question about dementia and is my dad winding down? And I'm so glad you asked this question. When, dementia is seen as somebody easing their way out of here, and somebody that's just not quite ready to go. That they like their life here, they love their life here, and they don't really want to go. And so, dementia is their way of kind of having a foot in both worlds, and they start spending a little bit more time in that other world, and it's almost like it's becoming more and more that they want to be in that other world. So it's a really positive experience for them to. We may look at dementia as just horrible, they're losing their mind, and um, yet again, we're not to judge, and there's a reason for everything. And so for some people, dementia is helpful. It's like it's the only way they're going to go. And so, yes, is clear your dad is winding his time down. Um, those visits to his childhood are going to get more and more frequent. And the most important thing with all of that is to just be there with them and don't have that idea or expectation um, for them to be like them, for him to be like your dad. Just have the conversations with him, talk about what he wants to talk about, and ask questions about his childhood if he's talking about it. Our father passed of dementia, and Mom said one time Dad was getting ready. He was getting all dressed, and he had come into the kitchen, and he said, "Well, you're not ready." He's like, "We're going on a date. We have a date." He had gone back to the time when they were in college and they were dating, and they would go out on double dates with another couple friend of theirs. And I just thought that was so cute. It was just so sweet that they go back to things that are fond to them, that are good memories for them, and that's really awesome. And I mean, it's just kind of sweet. So I would say be there in that way for him if you can. I don't think his time necessarily is this year. I feel like you still have time with him. Um, and so enjoy it as much as you can. And even when he doesn't remember who you are, he doesn't physically hear, but his soul does. And that you have to know. And it, physically, it'll be a different experience, but spiritually, soulfully, he knows very well who you are, and there's a lot of love there. Okay. Now I had a question. Let me see here. Somebody had written in, "Am I wasting my time with Dan?" Let me see here. I want to see. Y'all, hang on here. Okay. I'm going to have to get my questions more organized. Okay. I appreciate y'all being so patient. patient with me. Okay, well, anyway, somebody asked if they were wasting their time with Dan. Let's see here. And I am hearing yes. A clear answer to that, yes. So whatever that might be about for you, they are telling me, yes, your intuition is correct. What you suspect is correct. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Is there a message from my father-in-law? Okay. All right, let's see here. Does he have a message? Hang on here. All right. He is, he wants to talk about your work for some reason, and he is telling me to tell you you've got work to do. You are a great photographer. He said you take really, and he's using the word pretty. He said you take really pretty pictures, and he knows, he said there's a better word for that, but that's the word that's best for him. He said to also tell you that he thinks you're very pretty, and he thinks you're pretty not only physically but as a person, and you should smile at yourself when you look in the mirror and hear him saying that to you. And he said your work is pretty. It's just so funny. um, he didn't take time to appreciate all the, I don't know why he's sticking with this word, but he is. He said he didn't take time to appreciate all the pretty things here about his life, and he wished he would have. But he can sit where he is now and appreciate it all. And he said he can be like the zebra and not have any judgment about his life here. He also has no judgment about what any of his kids are doing here. And he is just there for them in whatever way they will believe he's there for them. So since you know you can connect with him, he is more than willing to be the kind of father-in-law to you now that he couldn't be to you here. And so he wants you to please ask him to be a part of your life in whichever way you want, whatever way he might can help. It is his pleasure. Okay, very cool. Is international travel a green light for 2024? Okay, oops. All right. I'm hearing yes, that it's time to expand your sight, your horizons, your perspectives. And I'm hearing international travel will change you in a way you can't even imagine. It feels like, the world, it's, all right, think of it this way. Some people are born and raised in one area, and they only stay in that one area, and so they only know one thing. So when we travel to different cities, different places, in different countries in particular, and we're around different cultures, then we expand our knowledge and we learn more ways of being, especially when we're open-minded. And of course you are. So this will serve you in many, many ways. And it really shows you, it's like, God, the world's a big place out there. It really is a big playground. And even though the world is small, we're bumping into, people we know in the most incredible of ways. There's so many wonderful connections. It's still a big world to see and experience. But they said, yes, it's time for you to experience other cultures, other places, expand your horizons and your perspectives, and it will be life-changing. So I would say you got a big green light on that one. Okay, here we go. This is my cousin. Hi, Mitzi. Okay, anyone for me, anything. Okay. All right. Mitzi, your brothers in spirit want you to know that they love you more than you can even possibly imagine. And they want you to know that you hold the family together and that they hear all of your prayers for every single member of your family. And they said you bring beautiful energy to this earth. And they miss you terribly in that way. And they said they would like to help carry your prayers around. Now, this is interesting. I've never heard this before, but they are saying when you send prayers up, they will take them kind of like we imagine angels do, but they will take your prayers and give them wings and give them more flight. That is really cool. I've never heard that. That is really special. So that is their way of still participating here and being a part of your life and everyone they hold so dear here. They are not unhappy at all, and that you can imagine. And it's been so wonderful, they said, to be with Mama and Papa and just the whole clan up there. And so they also want me to tell you it's as beautiful and more than you can even imagine it would be. And when we speak of the term bliss here on earth, we imagine what bliss would be like, but we have no idea. But so they said it's really beautiful and they want you to know that. Oh, that's sweet. Okay. Let me see here. Hang on. I gotta, hold on here, y'all. Take this little phone. Maybe technology. Okay. Alright. If you sent me a message, I'm looking on Facebook Messenger. If anybody had sent me a message. Okay. Alright, let me go over here. Oh, you ran into Cindy Gallus. Oh, wow, that's so cool. I think of her often. I would love to see her. Okay, Rachel, am I closer to having a baby? Let's see here. Let's see here. Well, there must have been a change in the trajectory around you. They are saying something else must come first, so I'm not sure what that is. There's been a little, I would call this a delay and a detour around that. And on top of that, I would say it's happening for a reason. Happening for a reason. You have to trust in that. But there does look to be a delay, a detour, I would call it. It's not saying that you won't get pregnant at some point or have that baby. Just looks like something else has to happen first. There's something else. So I don't know if it'll be this year, but looks like a change in your life will come first, if that makes sense. Doesn't feel like a positive change or negative change, anything like that. Just feels like there's something is not in play right now, that the baby would come into the conditions it wants to. So something about the conditions need to change. Hopefully that is helpful to you. Okay. All right, let me see. All right, I think someone sent me. 1 second here. Okay, I'm getting messages from different places, so it takes me just a minute. I'm not getting them. All right. Let's see. Anything else out there? Y'all have been so patient tonight with technology and with me bouncing back and forth to where the questions are. Okay, so let me see. All right, do the guys have anything they want to know about my depression, social anxiety, medical issues? Okay, let's see here. Well, um, let's see. I'm not sure if you were on the beginning of the call, but one of the things in this, when you have depression, social anxiety, and medical issues, so one of the things your guides would want you to know, first and foremost, is happening for a reason. There's a reason it's there. So it's serving you in some way. And what you have to do is dial that back down and find out, how is it serving you? Is the social anxiety serving you, or just depression, anxiety in itself? Because you are meant to understand your intuition, like your intuitive abilities, being more sensitive. Sometimes we have health issues because it's meant to heighten our intuition and our sensitivities. And that could be a part of this journey for you. Depression, they want you to know here. So they understand your question. They want to give a high level answer. And depression is, what they're saying, a disconnect from self. It's a disconnect from who you are at your core. And who you are at your core is that soul that incarnated here to be in this playground called Earth. And when it doesn't feel like a playground here, and we start having a very human experience, it can lead us to depression. We can also be very, very sensitive and intuitive and be picking up on the depression around us in the world, even in the cities we live in, the land that we're on. There's so much history, especially history that's kind of harsh, in the United States, and in the South in particular. So they want you to be really aware of what you're picking up on in that way, if that makes sense. But also ask how it's serving you. So if something is in our lives, it's there for a reason. It's serving us in some way. And give me a second here. They want you to really take each one of those. Now, your medical issues, they would have you look at the part of the body it's related to and understand what the symbolism is in that, and look for the metaphors in that. Let me see if they will give me something concrete for you. They are telling me to tell you, if you wrote out your fantasy life, your ideal, just fantasy life, what would that be? And holding nothing back, even if it includes elements of magic and fairies and whatever. They want you to write out what that fantasy life would look like for you, and you will get close to what would bring you to that joy, to that inner longing. So the depression is pointing you, they said, to your healing. And it's pointing you to a life of pleasure and joy and upliftment. Now, those are big words, and you can't get from there, from where you are now to there, overnight. Yet they do want you to know, whenever we have a condition, a health condition, again, it's there for a reason. but it's always pointing us in a positive direction, into a place of healing, when we really understand why it has showed up, if that makes sense. Now, some of us, they do want me to say this, some of us are here because we want to understand depression, and might have depression our whole lives, and understand what life is like to live in that mental state, because you might be deciding in the next life you want to be a clinical physician that treats depression, so you're going to spend a lifetime, this lifetime, living with the chronically. So they are telling me that's not the case for you, but that there's more for you to understand and dig deep with. Mm-hmm. Some of it is ancestral, a vibration that's passed on ancestral, so for you to check out. Hopefully that is helpful. Okay, so let's see here, just in case, how about my love life? Okay. I am hearing March. You will have action. Now, I don't know what kind of action, just hearing March. And, but there will be activity in your love life. And that things will start to, um, interesting. Things will start to heat up. And your guides are telling me, they said, remember that one year you said, I'm going to have a date by Valentine's, and I think it was like a week off, and you had a date by Valentine's? So it can be something similar, but this time it's going to be March. But you are going to, I would say, have a date by March, sometime in March, and things are going to start to heat up, and this is going to be a very interesting year for you. They are saying that one of the things you need to understand about relationships is that you like adventures, and so your relationships tend to be adventurous and take you on a wild ride. And they want you to understand that you need to save your adventures for your travels, and take the nature of adventure out of your relationship, the kind of adventures you've been having. So it's almost like you get into a relationship and it's been riding a roller coaster, and it's like, I need to get off this ride. And they said, yes, exactly that. Your relationships should be a source of upliftment, nurturing, creativity, connection, and well, pleasure. They're using that word a lot. And shouldn't feel like a ride, shouldn't feel like an adventure. They don't want you to approach your relationship as an adventure, not until you've like gotten married and been together. Then life together becomes an adventure, but the relationship itself is not your adventure. Save that for your travels. Hopefully that makes sense. Hmm? Okay. All right, hang on here. I have one more here. I'm going to have to find another way to get messages, so y'all don't have to wait on me to pull them up here. Okay. So a few of you are just curious if you got any messages, from your guides. Let's see, here's Wanda, you want to know about your husband's health. All right, let me look at that real quick. All right, let's see here. Well, I am hearing, your husband has a chance to make some changes. It doesn't look like he wants to make those changes, but I would kind of encourage him to, if you can. I don't know if it's a cough or something in his chest he's got going on. Um, Looks like his immune system is a little compromised. I would do whatever I could as far as I think I would almost, if you could get him to go into one of those like liquid assets, the where you can get the IV infusions, but where the doctors are. Um, do some vitamin C or some immune building. It looks like that would be really helpful. Or just start giving him a lot of vitamin C. Um, One kind that is really good that the body does well with is the liposomal vitamin C. Uh, that could be helpful. But I would say some few little lifestyle changes could make a really big difference here. Um, and it feels like a good trip for the two of you. Almost like he needs to take a break. He needs to have a break in some way, if that makes sense. I am hearing he worries a lot, but not in the way like I would say he's a worrywart or anxious, but he cares about a lot. He holds a lot. He's got a lot of love and care to give, and because of that, he holds a lot of people in his concern, maybe animals too. Um, Puts a lot on his shoulders, and I mean not physically, but just mentally, emotionally. Um, he's got a big heart, so I would say he's got to give that heart some love, if that makes sense. He is lucky to have you in his life, and you are him, and he listens to you. So um, I would say if y'all could start taking walks, something like that, just feels like togetherness, whether it's out on a trip or just walking in nature or being outside together is really, really healing for him. Mm. Also looks like he wants to make something. I don't know if he does make stuff with wood or anything, but I would encourage him to do this creative project or something he wants to do. It feels like he's got some creative energy in there, almost like a dream unfulfilled, and it'd be really neat to encourage him to move towards that dream some way, somehow. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. All right, the Hickory House closing 123. Let's see if there's anything else. All right, we are coming up on our time here. 123 Hickory House. Okay, great. I do feel like the house will close for you at the end of January. So whether it's on the 23rd, I cannot pinpoint it to that day, but it does look like you will get to um, wrap up this journey, this part of your journey, by the end of January. Well, it's really funny because Pluto goes into Aquarius on the 20th, and that is going to set a whole bunch of stuff in motion. So that week after the 20th, so that 23rd through whatever, it's it's going to feel a little chaotic around this switch on the 20th. And then the next week we even have a full moon. So energies are going to be high and intense. So just kind of hang on for a week or so. But it does look like as Pluto moves into a new sign, we get out of this period of disruption that we've been in where secrets are coming up. It does look like you will be able to close that chapter for yourself as well and start a new journey in a new house, new dwelling place. I would say new relationship, new experiences, all in the horizon. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm just going to answer this one more from my cousin. What are the chances of buying a house? Is it a good idea? I'm hearing yes, it's a great idea. Doesn't feel like it's going to be in the beginning part of this year, might be in the latter part of this year, and your brothers in spirit want to help with that. And they want you to know they can actually do that. You may not think they can, but they can. And they want to tell you they can be so much more involved than you can possibly imagine. Okay. This is really great, y'all. And I know we had to kind of be in two sessions tonight, yet it all still worked. Happened for a reason, right? For whatever reason that is, it's all okay. So, want to thank you all for joining me again. I hope you're all staying warm, and really appreciate you tuning in to bring these questions forth, to get these messages to all of us, because it's something I think we all benefit from, and it wouldn't be like this if you weren't here and sending in your questions. So Thank you for your curiosity, for your willingness to be open, for your seeking nature, and just being a part of this community. Okay, all right. I will see you all next week, and we will. Pluto will be in Aquarius by the time we connect next week, and we're going to be looking at a full moon in the sky. All right, take care. Bye.